What's up, Builders Club TV Nation? You got Dewan Jones here, your professional stay-at-home dad, and I'm excited once again, family, for another phenomenal guest that we have for you tonight. This phenomenal woman, Rebecca Garrett, is a powerhouse in the home business industry, entrepreneur, home business coach, professional speaker. We got her on the show tonight, family, and we have the opportunity to speak with her live and direct. Let me get myself on camera so we can make sure that the family can see me. What's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for subscribing, and thank you for spreading the word about the Builders Club TV. Our goal is to be the premier media platform for the home business industry, and you guys sharing the platform and getting the word out is helping us to reach that goal. So we greatly appreciate you and your efforts. It's again about the culture, guys. Let me make sure we have our good friend on the show. She can hear us okay. Can you hear me okay, Rebecca? Awesome. Let me get you on camera. There you are. What's going on?
Nothing much. What's happening?
Man, we're doing amazing, better than amazing. We're excited. Was very excited when we found out you'd be coming on. Thank you for coming on to the Builders Club TV.
I'm excited to be here. Really excited to be here.
Awesome. Hey, we're excited to have you. Always great to again speak to people who have done great things in this industry. What we like to do, Rebecca, if you've seen the show, we pretty much throw our guests in our Builders Club TV time machine, and we take the family back, because we found out through speaking to so many phenomenal people like yourself who have had major success in this industry and major results, that there's so much to learn from your story. There's so much to learn from the path that you chose to get to the success. There's so much to learn in your history. So if we'd be honored to dig into your past a little bit. Can we do that tonight?
Of course. Where do you want to start?
Well, man, take us back, as far as you want to take us back. And take us back, tell me this, what were you doing? Rebecca Garrett, what was life like before you discovered this home business industry?
Good question. So prior to being introduced to this industry, I was an educator.
Okay.
I taught for a total of 12 years, mostly in inner city schools. I was the teacher that kind of preferred the lower level babies. I spent a lot of my time in 4th grade, but a lot of my kids came to me on a 1st grade level, education wise, as far as, where they ranged and the things that they were knowledgeable on. And so I was the teacher to take them from 1st to 4th and beyond in one school year. So that's what I did for 12 years. Finance wise, I was in a very bad place. School, collected a lot of degrees. That's what I thought I was supposed to do, and no shame or shade against that. But that's what I did. I followed that course. Then, of course, I moved from Buffalo to Atlanta, taught for 12 years, and financially, it just wasn't where it was. Even though I had collected several higher level degrees, it still didn't pay me I wanted to be paid. I did get fulfillment from what I did, but towards the end, the fulfillment wasn't even there. I was burnt out, and I had even been diagnosed with depression from just going through all of that. If there's any educators that are watching, I'm pretty sure they know exactly what I'm talking about. So it was good for the first couple of years, especially moving to Atlanta, not having any children. I moved right after I graduated, so I started teaching when I was like 25. So at the age of 25, you think you're doing pretty well to go ahead and snag up a job for 40 or 45,000, right? 25, no kids, no nothing. Then, go ahead and I got my master's degree, which gave me a raise. After my master's, I collected my specialist, and I started working on my doctorate. So around that time, especially before I had my son, when I first started, you think you balling at 25 years old, no kids, really responsibilities, $45,000 a year. It's like, I got this. And then I had a son, absolutely love my son. He's 12 now. And life changes, of course, when you have those responsibilities. I'm a single mom. I'm doing those little air quotes, as they say, but my son's father is active in his life. However, financially, I take care of most of his needs, right? And so when that happened, it kind of changed the game. You know, that $45,000 wasn't much anymore.
Right.
So I started to play the game of, okay, in education, every time you get a degree, you get more money. Not thinking, okay, that also comes with student loans and all of this and all of that. I'm just thinking this is the way I can get a raise. So went to school, collected degrees, and it just didn't work out. At the end of the day, I will definitely say that some of that was on me because we do have the choice in what we spend our finances on. But let's be real. I don't know anybody that is 100% disciplined that wants to go to work every single day and not being able to enjoy some of that. You know what I mean? So it's not like I did crazy stuff, but it's like, dang, can I take a trip? Can I breathe? Can I go shopping? Can I do a couple of, can I live my life? And so me wanting to live life, not crazy, but just wanting to live life and having to take care of responsibilities and be a responsible adult and pay bills and all that stuff, man. By the time I found out about this industry, I felt like somebody was hiding it from me. Like, yo, why am I just learning about this?
Right. What was the experience? How did you discover it? Was it a friend? Was it a family member, an associate? Did someone hit you on the head walking down the street one day? Well, how did it happen?
So it was actually a friend. So I used to be go out queen. Like I used to partay. I stayed in Atlanta, of course, and so I went out one night, someplace I don't even remember, and I ran into this guy by the name of Jamel. Him and I became really good friends. You know, nothing beyond friends, like just friends.
Right.
Just friends.
Right.
And he was successful. He kind of intrigued me. He was in the corporate sector of Delta. And when we started to connect outside of that club environment, I realized like, oh, like he really has his stuff together, yada, yada, yada. And we just kept in contact. And one day he called me and he was like, hey, I want you to come over my house. I'm having a challenge party. I never went. He kept trying to get me to come to his house. Now I realized he was having events or whatever the case may be, and I would never go. So finally he called me, and I think like a concert or something was coming up that I was getting ready for, and I was trying to run off the house, and I'm like, yo, whatever it is, just tell me. Like, I'm not coming to your house. Like, I'm not coming.
Right.
So finally, I signed up as a customer. It was in, I don't know, do we say company names?
Yeah. This is for the culture, so we can say company names.
Okay. So my first experience was ViSalus, Body by Vi.
Shout out to ViSalus, legendary company.
Yep, ViSalus. And so that's where I got started. That's what he was a part of. And I was like, listen, I'll just go ahead and enroll. What do I need to do? He told me it was $500. And he is no longer nowhere near or touching the industry. And this is a transparent conversation, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So we know that in the industry, sometimes we do things that I guess we shouldn't do. And so when I was like, I'm not paying $500 for this, he was like, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and give you $150. You put the $350 with it. Like, I just need you to support me. So I said, okay. Went ahead, I enrolled. I had no idea what I enrolled for, right? So comes along, his support system is like, yo, what's up with her? This was right before school was starting. And he kept telling them, do not call her. She's a teacher. School is about to start, and she's not gonna want to hear nothing about this. Well, luckily, his support system went around him and called me and was like, listen, I know you're really busy. I know you're an educator, a young lady by the name of L Star. We became really, really good friends, along with another guy, Ernest Ross, who went on to earn millions in that company, that mentored me as well. And they were like, I know that you're busy, but did you know it was an opportunity to make money? Once I heard that, it was game over. That was my first experience. I had never done anything before. I was ignorance on fire, ran around, told all my friends and family members, but I'll be very honest and say that was my first experience, and it was about to be my last. Because I don't know of anyone who I think probably has a great first time experience. Right. At the end of the day, I lost a lot of friends. I didn't receive all of the coaching that I probably should have or needed to.
Right.
I spent way more money in that company than I ever made. And it just left a really bad taste in my mouth.
Right.
I also found out about the stuff that we don't hear about behind the scenes in these companies. people getting placement and volume given to them and legs being moved and all of this stuff. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, what's up with all, like, you know what I mean? I'm out here busting my butt. I didn't know any about any of that. But I will tell you what I gained from it was personal development. Never knew about personal development. Never had any idea what it was. My version of personal development was listening to gospel music. So I will say that I would not take away that experience because I became a personal development fanatic. And it was also, I guess I can say kind of a culture shock to what I did not want moving forward. I remember when I was losing in that company really, really badly, and you kind of get trapped in the loyalty game and not wanting to leave and quit and move forward, even though you know it is not doing anything for you. You're buying products on a monthly basis you don't want, you don't need. It's stocked up here, stacked. It was just a hot mess in the end of it. But that's how I got into it. And I always tell people, like, you can't unsee what you saw. And more than anything, I saw people, no shade to anybody, but I saw people that I knew I was smarter than and will work harder than. And I'm like, wait a minute, if they doing this, I know I could do it. This just ain't the right company.
Right.
So that was my first experience.
So when you figured, when you had that light bulb turn on for you, this isn't the right company, what was your next move?
So I was in that company. Then I had someone who was in that company that I ended up kind of stalking. You know how you find those people and you're like, yo, whatever they do turns to gold. Like, I wish I could be mentored by them, coached by them, and all that other kind of stuff. I'm not going to throw out that person's name, but that person ended up leaving that company, and they were the #1 enroller in the entire company. And something hit me like, yo, if he leaving, something must be up. Why is he leaving? What's going on? Reached out to him, found out that he was joining Total Life Changes, dropped 5 pounds in 5 days.
Shout out to Total Life Changes. Shout out.
Yep, Total Life. So then I went to Total Life Changes. Now, another story.
Yeah.
Went to Total Life Changes, and I want to choose my words carefully because I know this is live. This will be video here forever. And I am not in a game of throwing anybody, person, or company under the bus. I will just say it did not work for me personally. And I realized at that point that a lot of things were being bought. In that company, I achieved the status of executive director, but not off of real customers, not off of people purchasing products, off of an entire team of people who were running out to buy products that they were turning around and retailing to other people. That's also where I learned the tragedy of the binary. I'll wait till we get to a more vague conversation of just the stuff that I despise about MLM and network marketing and hit on that stuff. So I'll say that TLC was my second opportunity. I earned some money in that company, but again, spent way more money than what I earned. So at the end of the day, it didn't even matter. When you got people front loading products and buying statuses and all that kind of stuff, it just didn't work out. So that person ended up leaving TLC, and then they tried the wine business. So I was like, okay, let me do this, direct sellers, right? My first 2 companies were health and wellness. So I'm like, well, this will be fun. Let's do wine. Let's do, something that has nothing to do with health and wellness, because I felt like in health and wellness, you always had to be on your A game. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're trying to promote to people about losing weight, you need to be together. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody got time for that. Like eating a whole red velvet cake. Then that's what I'm doing. I don't always want to be using a detox or dropping 5 pounds or dropping 10 pounds or being on a challenge or drinking a shake. Like, I don't know. I don't want to do that. So then I tried the wine business, and it was another freaking binary, bad idea. I don't even like wine. It was just something fun to do. I got into that, and that was the first time I made, I guess what you can say, like, some real money. I probably earned $40,000 or $50,000 in the wine company, but again, because of the wine tastings and the traveling and the this and the that, I probably spent just as much as I earned. Now, one of the really, really, really good lessons that I learned in the wine company, which I think is very important for anybody in the home based business,
Mm-hmm.
is I will never in life again judge anybody for doing what's best for them and their family. When I was
Right,
in
right.
direct sellers, the person who led me to what completely changed my life in my new company left direct sellers. And I was so hurt and so upset that I became a very mean and nasty, bitter person.
Mm.
Um, I was mean on social media. I was mean in real life. I was just in a very not happy place because I felt like this person tore apart my organization when in reality that's not what happened. And so because that situation was so nasty and so ugly and I had to swallow my pride, I'll get to that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
But because of that, I told myself moving forward, like, you don't own anybody in this industry, period.
Mm.
If you do right by people and you are not selfish, which unfortunately most people are, they only want to know what is in it for them. If you are not selfish and you really truly understand that, number one, we serve a God of abundance, and number two, if you try to help as many people as you can, He will bless you more than you will ever believe.
Mm.
Then you won't be upset or mad if somebody decides to look left or right or go for that shiny object. Wish them the best of luck. Everybody who comes with you and starts with you is not meant to end with you or be with you. Let them go do what they go do. That is on them. And you have to love people where they are. I didn't understand that at that time. And so when everything started to fall apart, because that was the first time I had a little bit of success, I was I was pissed.
Mm.
I was pissed. Um, then that fast forwards to where we are now. I'm gonna give you the short version so I don't start crying on here. I don't know how many people have cried on your interviews, but I ain't trying to be the first one.
It gets deep. It
So
gets deep. But hey, it's family. It's
yeah,
family here.
so this is what happened with that. So um, in the wine business, I was at my lowest of my low. I had been teaching for 12 years, and I'm gonna pull this picture off my wall in a second. I had been teaching for 12 years. My last year of teaching was very, very difficult for me. I used to drive to work every single day and literally cry in my school parking lot, like crocodile tears.
Mm.
I had been diagnosed with depression and I was overworked, underpaid, all of the above, and I was just asking God to change my situation.
Yeah.
I'm currently a part of a company called Melaleuca, and the person who introduced me to Melaleuca taught me about it 3. This was the who left direct that I was pissed at, that I was very, very nasty to. And it was hard for me because the reason I said no for 90 days, I was upset, I was mad, I was angry, I was broke, I was broken, my bank account was negative. Now, if you would have saw me on social media, you would have thought everything was okay. No, it was really, really bad. My lights were actually about to get turned off. I had a light bill that was about $500 because I hadn't paid it in 2 months. Had no idea where the money was coming from whatsoever. And luckily, he called me back again. And when he called me this time, I was like, listen, can you meet me? Can we sit down and can we talk? So I finally sat down with him, had a conversation, spewed out all my feelings, crying, hollering, whatever, got all that out. And then I just needed to ask, like, is it really worth it? I can't do this again. One of the things about me, especially for anybody listening, like, I'm not a network marketer. I'm not that person who knows the big names. I don't know any of them. Like, in my business right now, when people enroll all of these big people and 7-figure earners and 6-figure earners, like, I don't know any of them. I'm not what I consider a network marketer. I know that I've had a lot of success over the last 2 years, but I'm not that girl. Like, I'm not in the in circle. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I just kept thinking, like, I can't do this again. I can't start over. Like, I build my business with regular people, with friends and family members and loved ones and my Uber drivers. You know what I mean? Like, I can't pick up the phone and call somebody that earn 6 figures in this opportunity and 5 figures over here, and they're going to bring us. It was none of that for me. So I was very just hesitant about doing it all over again, because I'm like, yo, I failed 3 times in a row and you want to do this again? Like, what the heck? But again, I couldn't even pay my freaking bills. So I really didn't have a choice. I went ahead, got started, and I remember, like it's yesterday, the Leadership in Action magazine, Melaleuca has a magazine where they publish all of the top earners' incomes and all of this other stuff. And I had never seen that before, because let's be real, y'all, when people are in home-based businesses, it's all fun and games until it's time to show them back offices. People don't show them. And the reason they don't show them is because, and this is the stuff I hate about the industry, they're lying. They're telling you about the biggest check they made or what they used to make or whatever, but they're not telling you what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is so wrong. But I was able to see the truth and documentation. So I'm like, okay, cool, let's roll. If you can help me make $10,000, that will change my entire life. Long story short, I enrolled on September 7th of 2017. My first 24 days, I earned $21,184. 4 months in, I earned $150,000. 2 years later, I've earned $1.2 million, and life has completely changed. But this is the crazy thing about it. It's not me, meaning that I truly understand and believe that I need my team more than my team needs me. I have one girl that's 2 months away from making $1 million. I have another one that has crossed $500,000, and I have over 25 people in my organization who have earned multiple 6 figures. This is not no one person making money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I work very, very closely and hard with my team, and everybody is getting paid. And the crazy thing is, this is where, because I didn't want to throw my negative comments on top of me just finishing talking about one company. So now that I'm talking about mine, I feel like my negative comments won't be thrown to any of those other ones. One of the biggest things that drew me to where I am now, and if you're watching, I definitely don't want to play on your intelligence, but Melaleuca is not considered an MLM or a network marketing company. They grow teams, yes, and you enroll customers, yes, but there's a huge difference in the way that business is conducted. The reason that people run away from MLM and network marketing companies is because of all of this shady business that happens and nobody talks about it. Like, I'm waiting for that conversation. I'm waiting for the person to be like, the only reason that I earned ABC, bruh, is because somebody gave you a whole leg. Or because you signed up the mom, the dad, the cat, the uncle, the bird, and the somebody else with a fake social security. Or because you paid for everybody to get started. Or because everybody is front loading products. Or because you get fast start bonuses off of all of these people that enroll, but at the end of the day, you only have to have a certain amount of volume for you to succeed. But show me some documentation of some people on your team that's making money. You can't. Like, that's the ugly part that I do not like. So when you hear these stories of people going to these companies and all of this and all of that with no particular names in mind, and you hear these stories, they don't tell you the backstory. They don't tell you that they're in a binary and one leg was given to them and they only had to build the other. They don't tell you that they were offered a bridge from their last company to this company, and so the company is paying them $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 to come and bring their team. You don't hear all of that stuff. And that's why people have such a negative viewpoint of the home-based business industry, because there is so much of that going on. I love what I do right now for so many reasons. Number one, we can play back office shawty all day long. You can have my username and password and go in there if you want to. There is no smoke and mirrors with what I do. You cannot make money here by yourself. Melaleuca is like the freaking FBI. They follow every single rule. I'll tell you that network marketers stay away from Melaleuca because they believe the company is so conservative.
Let me ask you this. I want you to keep going. I want you to keep going, but I want to ask you this, because you're touching on some very, some points that are definitely going to penetrate going to be controversial. People going to have their opinions on it. But let me ask you this, because I think that you're going to be probably one of the most qualified people to answer this question. When you talk about some of the people who are looking at the home business industry for the first time, maybe been hearing about it for years, maybe they have heard some bad things, but would you agree that in every industry, okay, whether it's the music industry, politics, I mean anything, you're gonna have good and bad culture. What advice do you have for somebody who maybe has been looking at you for a number of years and have seen your success, or maybe somebody who's just looking to get into it, but they are a little detoured because of what they've been hearing on the negative side? What kind of advice do you have for somebody to stay away from the bad culture? Because again, there's good and bad culture in every industry, and I think you're absolutely right. There are some things that are in this industry that can be considered bad culture, and that's one of the reasons, Rebecca, we created this platform. And I'm so glad you're being this transparent tonight, because we created this platform, the Builders Club TV, to keep it real, to bring things to the forefront, to create or add on the brand of home business, of network marketing, to add to the brand in a positive way. And it's good that you're shedding light on things like this. But what advice do you have for someone looking to get in this industry and wanting to stay away from the bad culture?
Ooh, I have a lot to say on that. I'm gonna try to keep it very brief. The first thing I'm gonna say is make sure that you do your research about the company, period. When it comes to the leadership of the company, that is everything. Check out the integrity of the company, check out the leadership of the company. I'm not going to say the amount of time in business really matters, because there's some startup companies that are amazing. Then you have companies like Melaleuca that's been around for 34 years and people think they're dinosaurs. You know what I mean? So I can't really speak on the time, but I will definitely say make sure you check out the integrity and the character of the leadership of that company. Because when the head goes, it's a wrap. So make sure you check out the leadership of that company. The second thing I would say is make sure you check out the product that is being offered. If you want a long-term business, you need to offer long-term products. Again, no shade to anybody that's out there. However, nobody is going to take a detox the rest of their life. So if they're not going to use that product for the rest of their life, how are you going to build a business that's going to last you for the rest of your life? I don't know about y'all, but I plan on building a business for 3 to 5 years and then living off of the residual income for the rest of my life. My residual income right now is about $15,000 alone. That doesn't include car bonuses and growth bonuses. We talking about $20,000 a month. That's with no status advancement, no nothing. That's just residual income from people ordering. You need to make sure you're attached to something that people are you can see longevity in it. If you can't, then don't do it. And then the last thing, which is also very important, it matters who you enroll with, but I also know that you can enroll with somebody and still be successful whether they drop out of the game or not. But this is something that people need to be aware of. There's a big difference between an influencer and a leader. A huge difference. Influencers are going to win regardless where they go. These are people that have huge social media followings. They have already a clientele. They have made a name for themselves. They're influencers. Influencers can go to company A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and every single freaking time they hop, they're going to win because people flock to them, they enroll, and the influencer is going to skyrocket to the top. But all of those people who enroll with them, unfortunately, the majority of them are going to just be left to fend for themselves, right? An influencer is going to win anywhere. You need to look for a company where the average person can win. Influencers, unfortunately, are usually not leaders, and they do not want to do the work. They do not want to develop people. They don't want to help you engage in personal development. They don't want to train you. They don't want to do three-way calls. They don't want to take time to help you win. Unfortunately, it is just what it is. They are influencers. They use their influence to get people to enroll in businesses, and they're not going to work with them. And so a lot of times when I see people company hopping from here to here, again, and I keep saying this as a disclaimer, I'm not talking about any person or any company. I'm talking in general. When I see people repeatedly hop from company to company and they skyrocket to the top and you don't see nobody else winning with them? Like, y'all don't stop to think about that? Like, this person was a six-figure earner in company A, B, C, D, E, F, but not one person they enrolled with them is. They can't show you documentation of anybody else that they help, anybody else that's winning, anybody else that's doing good. You have to stop to think about that. They're influencers. They're not leaders. They're not vested in your success. And the reality of the situation is they don't care if you win or not. You ain't nothing but an auto ship to them. Wake up. It's just that simple. So you have to make sure you look into those things. You want friendships, not commissionships. They shouldn't be calling and checking on you just when you're ready to cancel your monthly subscription, or if they find out that you're going somewhere else. No, sis, you should have been calling me from day one when I was trying to build my business. You wasn't calling me to help me win, so what you calling me now for?
What do you think?
But people follow.
What do you think? And this is good stuff. What do you think? Because someone listening to this who hasn't reached what anyone would consider a level of, extreme success like you have, what do you say to people as far as advice to keep them from falling into that culture where they're becoming just a person who's an influencer, but not a coach, a person that's helping other people? How does a person? Because I would imagine once the money comes, say it again.
Step on some toes. You sure you want to
step on the toes? Step on, cause we here for the truth, Rebecca.
Okay, so this is the problem. We idolize, and when I say we, I used to be one of them. Now let me be very clear, because there's something else that's not talked about in the industry. When you earn that fast money, I promise you, almost every single person in this industry that has earned $1 million, they blew through the first $500,000, $600,000. I know you're probably thinking, like, how do you do that? But I'm telling you, it happens. And the reason that it is so hard to fall in that trap, and the reason why the influencers keep getting away with it, is because of us. I used to be that person. And this has nothing to do with culture. I ain't talking about black, I ain't talking about white, I ain't talking about yellow, blue, or green. I'm talking about people, period. We idolize the wrong things. When you see people with red bottoms on, and these cars, and these big houses, and all of this type of stuff, you flock to it. You run to it because you're idolizing the stuff that they have. The crazy thing is, I know what I earned, and I know what I make on a monthly basis. And I'm looking at some of these people like, yo, they haven't earned even a fourth of what I've earned. But they driving around in a $200,000 car, got a $500,000 house, and all of this stuff. And I'm just in my mind like, yo, what the is really going on? Like, I don't know how we change or fix that, but that is a very ugly and nasty part of the industry. And so when it comes to people enrolling with folks and not falling into that trap, the reason I don't have an answer for that is because of this. I've worked to build my social media following over the last 5 or 6 years, but if you go to my page, yes, you probably will know I'm successful. Outside of the car that I purchased, ain't nothing on my page that say I make $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a month. When you go to my stories, I'm still in the same house I was in. My house a mess. My mama over here acting crazy. We just living our best life. When I look at my 6-figure earners in my organization, and my friend Shantae Salter comes to mind, she is so, I hate to use the word basic, but that's the only word that comes to mind. You would never think that chick is earning 5 figures on a monthly basis. So the crazy thing is, I don't know how you fix that, because when somebody is looking for a business, they're looking for those materialistic things. And so if that's what you're looking for, you're not gonna find that in me, or probably anybody in my team. But if you're looking for somebody that's talking about personal development, if you're looking for somebody that's talking about God, if you're looking for people that's talking about helping people improve their lives, if you're looking for people that's talking about empowerment, you gonna find that all day long. But people are looking for those flashy items, and so that's where they go. Then they fall into the trap of being with somebody who does not have time for them, do not care about them, and they're nothing but a paycheck to them.
It's funny you're talking like this, because Rebecca, we've had these conversations on the show many of times with other guests, and so it's definitely a hot topic. And I don't know why we've been so blessed on our platform to have this much transparency, but we definitely appreciate it because it's exactly what we set out to do in terms of what type of vibe we wanted to have for the show. Again, this platform is the Tonight Show for the home business industry. So we are about bringing the transparency and just, quote unquote, and I'll use the air quotes, keeping it real. And so we appreciate you bringing that to the forefront. You were saying something?
I was just saying it needs to be discussed. If put it like this, if every single company out there right now in existence, some kind of law came out where everybody had to show their back offices, it would be a lot of people looking crazy.
It'd be a hot mess.
It would be a hot mess.
But you know what? And I can't really, talk about this yet because, we have on the platform, we have a few different series. And I usually talk about this at the end of the episode, but we have the Builders Club TV, A Day in the Life. And when you hear that, you're thinking, because we say it's the lifestyles of the rich and famous for the network marketing industry. Really, we name it that as the appetizing type of vibe to bring people to it. But really, it's personal development meets lifestyle. And on the show, you're going to see the success. You're going to see even some of the material success. But we want to show the real success from people who really have the success and, kind of change the culture a little bit. And we wanted to hope in that area kind of
pay your house off, like go tithe, like Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely wanted to highlight some things that would be real motivation, and then let people know that, like yourself, the lifestyle does exist, but there's a real side to it. And then there's people who are, portraying, a facade. And then there's people who really have it and are looking to help other people obtain it as well. But I wasn't going to announce this, but we are going to have another series called The Panel. And the panel, again, is going to be a discussion panel. And we're going to be talking about things like this. Say it again.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Oh, yeah. So when you start talking the way you were talking, I said, okay, she's going to be perfect for the panel. The family definitely going to want her back on when we debut the panel. And so we'll have a panel discussion and we'll talk about things in the industry because, it's a new era and a lot of things have changed in business, just in general. So it's important to have platforms because, again, a platform like this one, so we've been told, it's hard to find because there's not a whole lot of platforms out there that highlights people like yourself. When you think about entertainers, athletes, they can go on Jimmy Fallon, they can go on The Breakfast Club and promote whatever they're doing. But, in network marketing, you have podcasts, you have things like that, but nothing really targeted for this purpose alone. And we want it to be that for the industry. And so we're happy that you're being that transparent. Will you go ahead and give out your social media website or anything like that the family can get in touch if they like?
Yep. So on Facebook, it's just regular old Rebecca Garrett, Rebecca Garrett. My profile picture is a red dress. I just started using Instagram. My team laughs at me all the time. I earned $1 million before I even started using Instagram.
You heard that, family?
Started using Instagram. But my Instagram is I am Rebecca Garrett. And so you can find me at either of those. I'm about to create a YouTube channel with Mom, though. If you catch her in my stories, you're going to die laughing. She is a whole mood all by herself.
Where's Mom's at? Where's Mom's at right now?
No, we're not going to get her. We find where she at. We go catch her next time. We catch her next time.
I feel you. We definitely gotta have you back for the day in the life. And like I said, even if it's you want to show us books that you're reading, if you want to, you might be out eating with your mom.
I gotta throw out this plug. Go ahead. I know you said when we come back. I don't get paid off of this. I ain't got no link for y'all and none of that. This book right here is Outwitting the Devil.
Classic. By
Napoleon. If you have not read this book, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and get that thing. The first 2 chapters are really, 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 really slow. So if you need to skip them and then read the first two at the very end of the book, I suggest that you do that if you lose interest quickly, because it will bore the mess out of you. I need you to promise me you're not going to get hung up on if Napoleon Hill is literally having a conversation with the devil or not. Who cares? That's irrelevant. Don't get caught up on that, but get caught on the information that comes from that interview. Blow you away. That is one of my faves.
Wow, wow. And we again, we're going to have you back. Before we let you go, however, we do have a new game that we've been playing with our guests that everyone's been loving and talking about. We call it a word of advice with a mentor. Basically, Rebecca, how we play the game is we shoot a couple of words at you, and then basically what you're going to do is give us a word of advice using that word. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. You ready to play?
Got it.
Let's do it. So let's do it. So the first word, Rebecca, that we have for you is teacher.
Teacher. The first word that comes when you say teacher is student, but I'll give you a word of advice with teacher. You're definitely going to need to become a teacher if you want to be ultra successful in the home-based business arena, because you have to be able to teach a duplicatable system. So with that being said, never get a big head and always know that the teacher should be a student at all times. Be a sponge, taking as much information as you can so you can digest it and turn around and give it to your folks so you can help them grow.
That's good. That's good. The next word that we have for you is transparent.
Oh, transparent. You need to be as transparent as possible when you are running a home-based business. People respect honesty. Do not lie to your team. Do not lie to your potentials. Do not make something seem better than it is. One of the models that we have at our company is the truth is good enough. And if the truth is not good enough, then you don't need to be there. So the truth is good enough. Always be transparent, because when you are, you just have no idea who is going to learn, who is going to grow, who you're going to relate to. I always say your vibe will attract your tribe. And so I live my life out and transparent as possible on social media. I don't hide my problems, my whatever, because I know that I'm going to be able to relate to people through that. So always be transparent.
Did you just come up with that? Your vibe will attract your tribe?
I always say that because it's true. Yeah, I believe in energy. I believe in vibrations. I believe in what you put out into the universe, you get back. And so my vibe is going to attract my tribe. The girls out there, or the people out there who are educated, but they also got that ratchet side. The ones who can speak very well, but if you catch them behind closed doors, they go turn up a little bit. The people who love God and trap music, like I am who I am.
Right.
I don't try to be for anybody. And anybody who relates to me, they're going to be attracted to me. So my vibe is going to attract my tribe. My team is full of people who are kind of like on the same energy lane. You know, same way.
Right. I like that. Your vibe. Hey, don't be trying to steal that. We're going to put that on a t-shirt. All right. Your next word is support.
Ooh, support. Big one. You can look at it in a whole bunch of ways. First, let me give you a big nugget, especially if you are brand new. The people who you know, love, and trust are not going to be your supporters. Strangers are going to support you first, and then your family members will not celebrate you until strangers do so. So do not expect immediate support from your mama, your daddy, your cousin, your best friend. I'm not saying they can't or they won't. They might, but don't get upset if they don't. All right? That's definitely number one. Number two is the support from a leadership standpoint. If you enroll anybody, one person, into your opportunity, it is your job, it is your duty to support them, period. If you do not intend on supporting them, do not enroll them at all.
That's good. That's good. The next word is busy.
Busy. Everybody is busy, yo. Get a calendar. Progressive calendaring is how I live my life. You need to schedule all of your time. Everybody is busy. Everybody gets the same 24 hours in a day. Busy is an excuse to me. I'm busy. However, I made time for this interview. I'm gonna make time for whatever else comes my way. You make time for the things that you want. So when I think of busy, I also think of sacrifice, because what are you going to sacrifice so that a couple of years from now you're not singing the same busy story and you can control your own time and do what you want. So you can be busy now, or you can be busy for the rest of your life. Which one is it?
The last and final word we have for you is winning.
Winning. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. But the second thing that comes to my mind is winning to me is not based on the individual, it's based on those that are connected to you. You're not winning if everybody else on your team is losing. Remember that. You are only winning if everybody else is winning with you. Period. End of discussion.
Well, there you have it. You smashed it as we expected. We're excited to have you on. We definitely got to have you back. I know the family going to love this interview. You dropped so much wisdom, so many nuggets. We definitely got to have you back, especially for the Day in the Life series. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about that. But we appreciate you coming on, Rebecca. And we definitely got to have you back next time. Builders Club TV family, Rebecca Garrett, peace. We'll see you again.